Hey, we made this.
Not really, mate. I mean...
Jocko Captain of fucking up the intro.
Yeah.
I can't. It's like glass houses.
The amount of build-ups he has for doing the intros. Like, excuse me, shut the fuck up. I'm about to do my intro. And then there's like a pigeon on the roof. So, Dave, open skylight. Fucking with my intro. Fucking with my intro. Right, okay.
I'm going to record
Here we go.
it at home next time on my phone before I come out and I'll play it next to that. I'll still fuck it up then, won't I?
I've already done that for a phone without mouse.
Have you?
Yeah. I should just play it again. Where is it?
Oh, yeah, just do that.
Yeah. No, I'm going to do it for this podcast. Don't care if it's not without a mouse. Just a minute.
What about kayfabe?
Yeah, I know.
People are allowed to know you're a different character in a different fed.
Where is it?
Hello and welcome to Without a Mouse, the podcast where we watch and review the obscure and forgotten live-action Disney films on the hunt for a hidden gem.
I'm Chris, and joining me as always.
You sound like you're trying so fucking hard there.
I know I was reading through my notes. Hello and welcome to CineMortuary, your fortnightly digester for all things horror. Prequels, squeakquels, 3quels, 4quels, 5quels, 6quels, not 7quels because that'd be silly, and 8quels. I'm Chris, and join me as always, it's Rob. Hello, Rob.
Hello, Chris.
How are you doing?
I am fantastic. And it's all thanks to you.
Oh,
for your selection this week.
Of course. I'm always good at my picks, but I am Chris, the picker of the glorious films.
Well, I did pick The Wicker Man that time.
And it was glorious.
Wicker what?
And also join me is Dave. Hello, Dave.
Really didn't want to... I had to try real hard not to interrupt you because Frequels is great. We've not had that one yet.
No.
Yeah.
Big pop for that.
Yeah.
Woo! Ooh. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I've come down a little bit from my existential crisis with the whole double kid, double Game Boy thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So how did that turn out then?
I'm not sure. I haven't found the kid's YouTube channel yet, but I think he's fucking with me.
Yeah, it's like a really sort of like more genteel version of Punk'd.
Yeah,
lightly roasted.
And the thumbnail on YouTube is just a picture of him like pointing and exaggerated, like laughing, and then you're in the corner of it going.
It's had 13 views so far.
And there's an and there's a crying emoji there as well, like crying with laughter.
Yeah.
And it's called "You Won't Believe What I Did to This Fucking Idiot."
Pretty much, yeah. And then there's like a reaction video from Mr. Beast, and they want to track the kid down and give him loads of money to prank more idiots. Brilliant, nice one. How are you, Chris?
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, especially because I've chosen a film this time, and I decided to treat myself again, let's face it, to the glorious Final Destination 2. Spoilers for the rest of the review. I very bloody love this series.
I would like to claim partial responsibility for this, given that I introed you to it.
You did.
This is the Edition 3 episode.
You did indeed, and I watched it and just thought, this is the height of cinema, you know. I tried to be all pretentious on shit with my French New Wave and bloody...
Stroking your lip and shit.
Watching Fellini and all that bollocks, but to be the height of it is something that combines my love of Jackass and Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Eraserhead's good, but does a guy get decaffeinated by his own fucking weight machine? No, he does not.
Right, but what about Videodrome? No nail gun in Videodrome, motherfucker.
So Final Destination DOS. is a fantastic pick.
Yes.
Well done, you.
Thank you.
Well done, you.
I'd say I've now watched the first 3, so all for the first time. So I watched the first one, and
What do you think of the first one?
Yeah, let's touch on that because we won't obviously be able to do it in an episode.
I thought it was really good, but it was a lot like the first Gremlins film in that it hadn't realised its full potential yet in its sheer anarchy. Instead, it was doing quite well, as we said, at doing a decent horror story.
Yeah.
But I just felt like it could do with a bit more of a...
Sunbed torture scene.
Yeah. It's also, and you'll disagree with this because you have a stance on these films that's different to me and Dave, but it's also, I think, a bit like the Bad Boys 1 to Bad Boys 2 situation. I know, Chris, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
well, I never did watch them back. I did promise on this podcast I would. I didn't. Sorry.
So,
So you watch number 2 and you think, that was fucking sick. Is there any more? Well, yes, Dave, there is. Okay, Rob. Are you sure? Yeah, why? No, nothing. And you just have... It's alright, but the jokes aren't as smooth. The kills aren't as great.
yeah.
It's not as streamlined. It's not as stupid either, which is the problem.
It's not slick, is it? Either.
No.
But I reckon the budget was probably low for the first one because I don't know if we were necessarily expecting it to be a huge hit as it was. Yeah.
Shall I crack into it then?
Crack into it. Crack it open.
Yeah. Crack open I shall. So it's for 1 year anniversary of the original flight. I believe it was Flight 180.
Flight 815, mate.
815, that's the one. Close enough. And we begin with a bit of an opening with stuff on the walls.
And Rob, tell us about this opening sequence. I know you like a good opening sequence.
Oh, yeah, I do, you know. It features one of my favourite things about opening sequences is this, which is newsreel footage.
Yes.
So I'm in straight away. On board.
My favourite little nugget in this was... it was a picture of someone from the last film, I think, and then it scans over this table full of junk. And there's like a magnifying glass, like an overhead magnifying glass.
Yeah.
And the way it goes, it kind of distorts the image. So there's a modelling knife, like a craft knife, next to the photograph, and it's like over someone's eyeball.
Right.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. And then I think there's like a puppet in the corner that definitely looks like it's being hung.
And they also show a newspaper clipping of the main character from the first one. Headline, like, killed by a random brick thrown on him. Subtitle, but he's not in this one. Contract dispute.
Devon Sawyer, or Sawyer, I believe his name's pronounced,
Yes.
will not be returning.
No. And also the guy on the TV talking about what was said in the first film about all of Death's plan, how there's some sort of foursome unseen presence,
Yeah.
basically, that controls death and fate and how you can't really do anything about it.
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of thing that I love about the Final Destination films. Basically, this guy on the TV reports, like, it might as well be saying, right, audience, sit down. This is the truth of the situation. No one will believe me. But you and me, the audience, and me, we know.
Motherfucker, if you ain't seen the first one, this is what's going down.
Yeah.
Okay,
Might as
cool.
well just say, last time on Final Destination.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we go to our main character of this film, Kimberly, and she's about to embark on a road trip with her dickhead 3 mates.
Yes.
Wait a minute, we've had this one previously.
A little bit.
Yeah.
See?
Less latent homosexuality this time, though.
Yes. That twat that with the weed needs to shut the fuck up now. Or die pretty soon.
When her and her girl pal go to pull off their drive to go and pick up the 2 lads, we are immediately told, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, pretty much to the camera by her dad about what's going to happen when he turns around and says, "Girls, don't forget to buckle up." Oh, is it going to be a traffic accident?
Also, car's bleeding red.
Yeah, it's got red on it, his drive, hasn't it?
Hey. So, what I really like, so this next sequence lasts about 5-10 minutes.
Yep.
And you know the traffic accident is going to happen at any minute.
Yep.
But they introduce all of these different elements that make you guess, oh, could it be that? Or could it be that? Or could it be that?
Yep.
So we've like got the school bus full of the frat boys pissing about. You've got the guy in the muscle car like snorting cocaine.
Yep.
you've got someone who flashes their boobs on a motorbike,
Yep.
and you've got the cop car going along. You've got the
With the
truck
coffee
vlog.
teetering on,
Yeah, the coffee is like spilling
Yeah.
everywhere.
It's a wonderful little structure thing that absolutely tickles my autism in magical ways. I just sit there getting giddy,
Yeah,
just like I'm getting a massage or something. Like, oh my, oh no, yeah.
like the guy flicking the cigarette from one sets the leaves on fire from the other. Like, that's what happens. And she's like, oh, for fuck's
But
sake.
it's all
just
passed off
wipe.
as inconsequential.
Yeah.
And then when the actual trigger event happens, then everything kind of goes into place. Like when they just throw the bottle on the floor in the back of the car.
Yeah.
But like you barely think anything of it, and then it rolls under the pedal so they can't break. You know, I feel so smart, almost like I made this film, but no, I didn't. No, everyone gets it.
No.
Yeah. Now, there's a couple of things that in this bit I would like to just touch upon as well, because similar things about these films I love to what you guys have described there. The things I love are the warnings, which I've written down here. Mm-hmm. So the bus full of kids, there's two things to note about this, because I did a bit of research around all this. Number one is, as they drive past, they're all loudly shouting, "Pile up."
Very good.
There's a very clear shot of the writing of what school it is on the side of it. I thought, there's a reason for that.
Okay.
I'm going to fucking do some research.
Yeah.
So the school that's stamped on the side of the bus is the school that all the kids attended in the first film.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah. I'm not even getting warmed up yet, mate.
Oh, dear me.
And then she faffs with the radio and Highway to Hell plays.
Yes.
Easy one, but very good. Yeah.
And then we get the big truck full of logs, which we'll come back to in a minute. And the warning light comes on in the car, and Kimberly's blonde friend turns around and says, "It'll all be fine." And then we have a guy drinking beer at the wheel of a beer truck, which says "Drive responsibly" on the side of it. And last but not least, the cherry on the top of this delightful cake is when they drive past a car with a woman and a child in it, the kid turns around to him and crashes his two toys into one another. Stop it, I'm full.
You want more, sir? No, thank you. No, thank you. No, just a bill, please. Fucking hell.
The tip is going to be astronomical.
And this is all just a fucking setup, because...
His first 5 minutes.
Yeah. And then, because then when we get to the actual crash, so it's just a wire snaps on the logging truck, which causes the logs to start responding to the road and causes a pile up there. So you've had this amazing setup, but it's followed by burnout crash mode.
Full on Domino's, burnout crash mode.
Yeah.
And they're all tasty. Just everything's crunchy. Yes, mate. The fucking motorcyclist getting knocked off and tagged and pinned.
Yeah.
And then he's alright, but no, he gets completely crumpled and crushed. And then there's a bloke burning to death in the car, and you think, oh, maybe he can get himself out. But then the truck just comes out of fire and completely demolishes him.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, shout out to the kill that sets us running with the slow motion of the cop's head coming through the back of the car, attached to the fucking log. Oh, the fact that they did the whole thing through the car in slow motion.
Yeah.
Giblets.
It's beautiful. And I love the little attention to detail as well in how Kimberly and her friends survive, which is the car manages to roll over one of the logs, thus positioning it in a certain way where it's just into safety, but of course, as we all know from the first Final Destination film, this is all a dream.
Yes. And she pulls to the front of the queue when she realises when the little initial motif of the hobo having this stuff falling out of the cart and the bag that she's holding it in.
It's 2020, you have to call her a dispossessed woman now.
Thank you, sir.
That's right.
And then she says Highway to Hell, and she goes through the radio and Highway to Hell comes on, and she pulls to the front of traffic, blocks everyone in, gets out, the cop pulls her out of the car, and there's another little tickle of Rob's pickle here, where the sign in the background, there's a motorway sign in the background, it has some kind of warning or traffic message, and there's a number on it, and it's the flight number from the first film.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah.
Tight.
That's when your mum's just served up your chicken nuggets and crickets. You think, yes, give me orders for
exactly.
beige stuff. And then she's in the kitchen. She's like, oh, Rob, hang on a second. There's another one here in the pan. And you're like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mother.
Yeah, so at this point, like, and I watched this film very, very recently, and I was toying with the idea of just not watching it again, because I'd watched it, like, literally maybe a month and a half before this. I thought, nah, fuck it, I'm going again.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, a fantastic, like, restaurant quality burger, right? I will have one. And then 3 days later, if someone says, do you want to have another fantastic restaurant burger? I will say, yes, I do.
And you absolutely do not mention you've been to this place the night before.
Yeah, exactly.
Waiter pretends he knows you. You're like, yeah, fuck off, mate, all right.
Yeah.
Never heard of him before.
But you enjoy it just as much.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's what happened to me here.
Playing us off against each other. He's been for steamed hams twice now.
So, yeah, go on, sorry. You take the lead.
Sure. So, because Kimberly's holding everyone up who died before, as a result, the accident happens. Sort of the same thing again with the log coming off, but this time they're all okay. Except immediately, because her car is now out of place from where it was to begin with, another truck plows into it and kills her.
I'm gonna get you, bitch.
And kills her 3 friends instantly.
Yeah.
So,
Now, this is really important, this.
yeah.
Because it's a differentiation from the first film. And you kind of think, well, wait a minute. She's just saved him from the pileup. That's weird. But it's the start of death coming after them.
Yeah.
But this time, as we sort of find out later, it's in reverse.
Yes, because technically they should have been last, because in like the image of everything, they were the last ones before the fireball comes towards them, whereas this time, wipe out straight away.
Yeah, and the cops saves her, so it skips her, so we know she's now going to be last, bottom of the pile.
I like to imagine death is just looking over them all from a little cloud somewhere. Sees the explosion happen. He's like, oh, fuck, missed them. There's another one. Another one coming. Fucking that way, yeah. Yes, bitch, yeah, fuck you. Oh, for fuck's sake.
I tell you what death is like in this film. You're going to really like this.
Oh, okay, here we go.
So death in this film is exactly like Vince McMahon on the on the Raw Nitro simulcast, where he gives his promo about holding the lives of the WCW wrestlers in the palm of his hand. Jeff Jarrett, you're first. You're fucking god.
I don't know how to follow up on that.
No, I mean, that's pretty on point. I'm going to say, yeah.
That wasn't even in my notes. That was just all.
That's really good. That
all
nice one,
Noggle.
Rob. Yeah.
Anyway, the police station then. They're all there, and they immediately linked to the flight because Kimberly describes how she had this feeling, this vision of what was going to happen, and how it's very much similar to what happened 1 year ago. And most of them are like, yeah, bullshit. That's not going to happen.
But this is that great no wasted motion thing about the Final Destination films and other films like it is we're literally sitting all the characters in a room and going, right, guys, this is the plot.
Yeah. And while you're here, establish yourself. What are you like? And like the black guy is just like, he thinks he's smarter than the whole thing and is like dismissing it like, oh, well, yeah, this is bollocks, isn't it?
Give me one notable characteristic about all of you, you fucking Micro Machines characters. I'm a greaser. I'm a millionaire. I'm a businesswoman. Career obsessed. I'm a mother.
I'm the fat guy.
It's literally that, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
it is, yeah. And
but
it's
fine.
Yeah.
Who did you used to play on Micro Machines?
Spider.
Yeah, I always played as Walter. Don't know why.
Which one was Walter?
The fat guy.
I mean, the thing about, if you remember when we did Final Destination 3, I said to you, Christopher Wilson, I mean, Dave both did, I think, because you've not seen any of the rest of them at that stage, that basically it's the same set of characters in each film that just die in a different way. Yeah. And there's something just delightful about that. It knows exactly what it is. It knows exactly what its audience likes, and it just fucking does it.
Yes. In terms of tonality, though, I think this one's a weird bridge between the first one and the second. Sorry, the third, which, you know, that's a redundant sentence because that's what it fucking is. But this one still kind of clings to the seriousness of the first one.
Yeah.
Trying to get that dread tone. But also there's some moments that are just so fucking tongue-in-cheek. A man with hooks in a lift. Fuck off. That is so funny.
We will get to that. That is off the chain.
So we'll take it like from Final Destination 3 onwards, 3, 4, 5, this is like in The Simpsons where Homer just becomes really stupid and takes over stupid pratfalls every single episode.
Or that progression.
Yeah,
From, like, season 8
that
onwards,
progression from normal Homer to jerk-ass Homer.
Yes. You got your Simpsons references in there.
Yeah, no.
There you go. You're happy now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Everyone's happy to this. Is great, this.
Good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, we go over to the asylum where Claire from the original film, she survived at the end of all this.
Yay!
And she's got herself in a padded room.
Yeah.
It's not fucking comfy, to be fair.
That's what Eleanor said. She said that would be fucking great.
Can
And
you
people have
imagine?
to get approval and sign forms and a buzzer to come and see you.
Yeah, that
it's
sounds
fucking-
fantastic.
Put a cat in there.
You can literally lay anywhere. If you get bored, you can start bouncing on the walls like it's a bouncy castle.
And you've got a telly as well.
Yeah.
Dangerous, that.
I imagine like the heating in there is very consistent. And those jackets as well, you know. I know they're supposed to look uncomfortable, but you know, you get all snug and all that. Like,
What, a straight jacket, Wilson?
yeah, so the straight jacket is just all snug and everything. And
Looks quite cosy, doesn't it? Yeah. Wouldn't mind being in a padded cell. Be all right.
if you're listening, my doctor, you know, section me if you want. Sounds all right.
She's got a nice little telly recessed into the wall as well. People pay a fortune for them TVs recessed into walls, and she's just got one.
Do you know what is a new thing? Because I went shopping for a mattress last year, and it turns out now you can buy bed frames with TVs recessed into them as well.
You can.
Yeah. Come out at the bottom.
Yeah.
It's a dream, isn't it?
It is.
They used to come up really high. It would fuck me off if the bottom was cut off by the duvet or your own feet. Like, it would have to come up really high to not irritate me.
Can you imagine me trying to set up the tech on that, though?
Oh my god. You right there, Dave? Yeah, mate, what's up? Nothing, do you want to come over? Yeah, have you bought a bed frame with a TV in it? No.
That's exactly how that conversation would go.
There's pizza.
I've got some of that honey rum you like so much.
Alright, I'll be over in a fucking minute. I'll bring my screwdrivers. Thanks, Dave.
Also, to note around this bit, Kimberly's mum's dead. There you go.
Thank you, Wilson.
Yeah.
It does come in, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. Like,
it's important to know.
Does she have some sort of psychic powers?
Ooh. Yeah. I love the fact that she basically goes up to her dad and says, right, look, I think some weird shit's happening. Can I ask you a question? Was Mum psychic? Just out of interest.
Yes, she was. Oh.
I mean, if she was psychic, she wouldn't be dead, would she?
Hey? Oh, dear.
Comes for all of us, Wilson. Come on now.
Anyway, let's go to our first elaborate death.
Yes.
So there's a generic blonde guy who's known because he's won the lottery.
Yes.
And he's so lucky he's also just survived a massive car accident. So
And he's got a new iMac, George.
he does. Blatant as fuck.
And there's nothing in the box. Because he holds it all with one hand.
Product placement, please.
Little bits.
Fucking love how he's just won the lottery, but yet he's still living in a shithole like that with the toys from next door's neighbour thrown about everywhere.
yeah.
And he's just
Like
like, yeah,
Pirates, man.
I've got an iMac box, I've got a golden ring,
Got a new rollie.
I've got one of those sinks that, you know, if you put your arm down, it's a bit unfortunate.
Fuck this
Let's
thing.
not
here we
brush
go
under the
again.
carpet the fact that the ring is in the shape of a lucky horseshoe. So, installment 2 of Rob's intensive research of all the little fucking unbelievably tight references in this film. So the setup here is he drops his lucky ring down the sink and his big gold Rolex on, and he gets his hand stuck in the drain, doesn't he?
Yep.
Now there's a generic song playing in the background, like new metal-y kind of thing. I thought, I'll see if I can figure out who sung this. And I was watching it on Amazon Prime, and you have the X-ray thing, and it brings up the song. Mm-hmm. And all it brought up was Vitamin X. I thought, that's weird. So I did some digging, guys, and I found the song and the album it's off. Would anyone like to take a guess at the name of the album from Vitamin X that the song was taken from?
Don't throw spaghetti out the window.
It's either called The Final Destination or it's called like Fire Eyes or something like that, isn't it?
Better than that. It's called, are you ready?
Oh, don't.
It's called Down the Drain.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
No, that's a little bit too shit, but I'm still on board with that. Yeah.
Too literal for my liking.
It just, like, when I had to recheck it. So basically, I stopped the film at this point, and I played the scene back, and I was just listening to music because I was like, "There's no fucking way that they have done that." And I listened to the song off that album, and the song was called something else random. It wasn't like the fact that the song wasn't called Down the Drain, the song was called something unrelated, like fucking, I don't know, Firebolic 2000. The album was called Down the Drain. I wish it was called Firebolic 2000 now.
It's going to be a lot of work, but that's my new music project. Thank you for that. Firebolic 2000.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Some kind of space-age surf rock, I think. Yeah.
So I'm almost as good as my friend Will Zoo's rap album that I was talking to you about today, him and Secondade.
Will the Beast.
Will the Beast, yeah, and his album's called Black Forest Ghetto. Respect.
Every time I see him and I bring that up to me, the sheer fucking apathy that he has for its existence.
That is.
Like,
his
Second just kept
response.
going on with it. It was like, yeah, all right, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up now, yeah. All right, Will the Beast, how's it going? Yeah, all right, yeah. All right, anyway, fucking...
Anyway, Final Destination 2 then, I guess. Do you want to run us through Kill Uno then, Wilson, I suppose?
Okay, then. So he starts cooking some pasta or something, and then like the letter H from his window, from his fridge magnet falls in to spell out I on the fridge. No,
Yeah.
because it eventually says hey and then an E.
Right,
And then,
yeah.
So
Okay.
I, note that for later.
Yeah.
So he put them boy noodles in the microwave.
Yeah.
Tick box, microwave-related death.
That's Dave's fetish. You know what his Pornhub searches have been in the past.
Just tech-related deaths don't happen in films anymore. Tech-related deaths and unnecessary rain outside. Oh.
So he puts his arm down the drain because his ring's gone down there. And then a bit of a fire starts forming because he's overcooked the noodles.
Yeah.
But it's still stuck. And I can't tell if his...
Hang on a minute, so he's microwaving something and he's frying something at the same time.
Yes.
isn't he?
Yeah.
Fucking idiot, right, yeah.
No, I do that as well. But we went on about my cooking last episode.
Not with your hand down a fucking drain, though.
Well...
Okay.
So there's a massive fire. He manages to get his arm free with a ring rescued, so no hilarious Amityville 4 style death here.
I'm sorry to interrupt again.
Yep.
But the way he looks at that fucking pan fire, he's got his hand down the drain. He's like, oh, what the fuck's that smell? Oh, fucking alright, yeah. Okay, not again. This massive fucking blaze behind him. Microwave is literally exploding. There's glass going everywhere. And you just don't give a fuck. Like, oh, wish I could get my ring out there. Just hang on a minute, fire. All right.
So he manages to get his arm free, but as that happens, all the windows start closing in on him.
Mm-hmm.
But he breaks one of them and escapes down the fire exit. And the stairs aren't like functioning very well, but he manages to like force them down. He gets to the ground floor where the spaghetti he threw out the window to begin with is right there. He slips on it, right in position so the stairs can then fall back down right on his eye.
Yeah.
Incredible.
It is good.
I absolutely loved this whole thing.
It is good.
It is so stupid.
It's like Buster Keaton if he just did a lot of fucking meth and said, "Here, make this." Oh, fucking all right.
Yeah, so as a little palate cleanser after that ferociously fantastic kill, we get a little montage of the survivors watching the news in their various homes about the pile-up. And then Kimberly... No, and is there a bit on the news part about him as well? And they all...
Yes.
They're all like, ooh, that's a bit fucking weird.
That's when we realise, oh shit, okay, maybe something is up.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, the cop is researching Final Destination 1.
It is, yeah.
I should just watch the DVD, never mind going to AOL online.
He's doing some naughty search engineering, which I always love.
Yeah, that is, yeah. Nothing
Like-
carbon dated.
Like premonition with like speech marks around it, so it definitely comes up with premonition.
Oh yeah, putting speech marks in your searches. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck off.
I do it all the time.
Yeah, do you double click hyperlinks as well, like a mad lad?
No, I don't go that far. I had to find the double speech marks are to find specific expressions on there.
Okay.
Yeah, and sometimes I have to like look up expressions 3 or 4 words, especially when I'm worried about plagiarising something. So I have to look it up. Ooh. A million results, like, nah, I'll be fine.
I'll blend in with the rest of them.
And we have an interesting little thing next where Kimberly starts seeing sort of weird shapes around and next to the window in a room, which is something that should probably make a wee note of something that happens involving a window pane later.
Indeed.
And does she start Googling as well?
Yes, she starts researching Final Destination 1 as well.
Yeah.
I mean, at least the VHS, you know.
I know, yeah.
Might be a bit late in the day of VHSs, but it would be available.
Yeah. And she basically, within 2 seconds, manages to find out where Claire is somehow and Google map it and then waz herself off there, basically.
Yeah. Well, this is before GDPR, isn't it? So,
Oh, yeah, true.
yeah.
Don't fucking talk to me about GDPR. Agony.
So she goes across there, and she's given a list of all items to give up to the nurse there, like get rid of your keys, your belt, I don't know, your shirt, your shoes, everything.
Any food?
Yeah, food, drink, anything that's got paper on it.
Mate, are your nails cut down to the bloody bone?
Yeah.
And it's not because she's considered dangerous, but because she's be a danger to Claire. So
Yeah. And so eventually she's ordained access into the padded room.
again, I feel so cool. I just feel sleepy thinking about it.
Yeah, it looks comfy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And Clea sort of tells her to watch out for the signs and tells her to do one. And then they argue, and Kimberly calls her a coward, which I think is a little bit harsh, considering that she saw Devon Sawyer get bricked.
It's pretty harsh, this.
All her mates are dead.
Yeah.
But apparently she's the coward because she wants to stay alive.
You're a coward, you should help us all. Hang on a minute, you've been dealing this all of 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Where the fuck were you when all my mates and me were dying?
Also, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
Get out
Piss
of my
off.
house.
Yeah.
I'm in a comfy zone. I'm not welcome here.
But it is noted when Kimberly goes in with her conversation with the nurse and made clear to the audience that Clea is there of her own free will and can leave any time.
Correct.
Yeah, you're not crazy.
She's basically paid to stay there as basically a safe house, essentially.
Yeah.
And this is also where we establish the only bit of revelation in this scene, otherwise it is filler, if I'm being honest, is that everyone's dying backwards this time.
Yeah.
In order, yeah.
Yes.
So that's the main pickup from this scene.
And then does Kimberly go to see the cop and has a vision of pigeons.
Yes, they do. Well, the cops are there to tell her of a meeting tonight between all the survivors to try and figure out what they're going to do. But when all the pigeons start flying about, that's when they realise they better go and rescue the young kid and his mum.
But basically, it's kind of heavily intimated, and this is the first time I've ever really noticed this, and it really made me laugh. It's like it's kind of heavily intimated that they both think that he's somehow going to be killed by like a swarm of pigeons.
What do they get you, man?
Might do in Grimsby Town Centre, you know.
Yeah.
Might do, yeah, suffocated by him.
I'm just trying to think of the best way. So if like someone throws a whole loaf of bread, but then the kid's been eating like a lollipop and he's got himself all sticky, so the bread then sticks onto him right away.
How the fuck do you eat lollipops? Also, what are you doing?
Armpit. Then all the pigeons flocking at the same time and they can't tell the difference between bread and skin, and then he gets flayed by pigeons. That's the only way I could think of it.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Flesh.
Flesh.
Clea leaves the hospital. That's kind of there's a quick cut of her leaving the hospital, and then I don't know if you fancy taking this one, Dave, or not. I mean, it's the dentist next. Is it?
I thought you might say that. I am drastically uncomfortable with this whole sequence.
Yeah,
I am as well.
The payoff is hilarious.
Yeah,
but, like everything about it, the way it's shot, everything that's happening is just like.
Yeah, the build is I think it's because it's super relatable as well.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, I had a bit of a dental disaster last year.
Oh.
When my dentist completely fucked up a filling, and as a result, I had to have a root canal from it.
Oh yeah, shit! I forgot about that.
This just brought back memories of that whole thing because I was in pain for about 3 months straight.
Fucking hell.
And so I do not like revisiting dentists, especially in films where more things can go wrong.
No. I haven't been in 25 years for a fucking reason.
The bit that gets me most in this scene is when he's fucking about to inject him with that needle and a pigeon hits the fucking window and he jolts with the needle. I'm like, what are you doing with the needle?
Stop it!
And the pigeons are literally completely trashing that glass.
Yeah.
And he's so blasé about it, like, fucking hell.
You'd move offices. Do you know what I mean?
Seriously? All right, do you want the laughing gas? Like, oh, fucking hell, don't put him under. It's going to be fucking worse. Oh, stop it. And then there's water, like, dangling next to a fish tank power supply. Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, 'cause that's an attempt at tagging the mum, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
there's like a loose socket there, then this puddle forms, but then she gets out of the way, but unwittingly, because then another pigeon flies in through the window, managing to penetrate through it. So the dentist has to walk away for some reason.
Just leave that gas pumping.
Yeah, just leave the gas pumping.
The sight of them trying to fucking pick up this pigeon that's flapping around like a salmon on the floor. Fucking hell.
And then the kid's like all zoning out with the gas and shit. But then because the fish tank pump water shorts out some electricity in the building, it stops the oxygen and then just leaves the laughing gas going. And then he starts to completely zone out. And then there's like this little mobile thing with fish above him.
Yeah.
And the puffer fish, good choice, falls down into his mouth. And then he's breathing a little bit. And you think, oh no, okay, he can still breathe through his mouth. And then it just sort of settles into the back of his mouth. It's quite unpleasant.
Yep.
And it just blocks off his oxygen. Like, fuck. Get fucked. Nah, that's horrible.
But then the dental assistant walks in, just like, oh dear. Think, okay,
Fine. Cool.
that's all okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because this all turns out to be a bit of a red herring, because...
It does. Red puffer fish.
Red pufferfish, yes. Because when we go outside again, Kimberly and the cop are there, surrounded by pigeons, and, as we're walking past, all the pigeons fly about, trying to warn the kid. That
It's the way they say, stay away from the pigeons, so the kid goes... just start spooking them all.
Yeah.
Like, you fucking twat.
Yeah, and he has how would you describe? A smashing time.
Oof.
yeah. I think he's sort of glazed over for the whole thing.
Ooh, he was pretty glazed, yeah.
Yeah.
To quote good old JR, he gets folded up like an accordion here, doesn't he?
This is a magnificent death. This is bloody A++ of deaths.
It's a butcher's back alley, isn't it?
It is.
Fuck me.
It is. And what a back alley it is.
Yeah. There's loads, this is definitely a top candidate for Kill of the Week.
Yeah.
I think mine's later on, but this is, fucking great as well.
I might take this one. I think that's Kill of the Week for me.
I might have to take it as Kill Week as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's the only reason it's not mine is because there's a specific type of kill that I have a real soft spot for, and it's one of later on.
Fair enough, yeah.
It's a bit of a low key kill in the grand
I know
scheme.
you
But
like your more tasteful kills, don't you? But
you like what you like, don't you?
know,
But this
that's
is
right,
this is like any other week. This would be Kill of the Week.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
This is a pick and
Unanimously.
mix of,
So I don't blame you guys for picking this one at all.
so the plate glass that has been many things have been threatened from the building site across the road from the dentist office, but the man operating the crane gets spooked by the pigeons. He drops the plate glass on him, pretty much, and we're treated to what is essentially a 3-camera setup. We see it land pretty much 3 times. Beautiful stuff. And it's a mannequin getting folded in half first, then it just turns to fucking mush and giblets and chunks, and it's fucking everywhere, and it's not going to come off the pavement very easily.
It's like dropping a bottle of red wine on the floor.
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
it is. Yeah. It's just a stain you're not going to get out of that, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh.
It's like when you drop something on the carpet and you stand in it and it really gets into the fibre of
Like
the
blue
carpet.
tack, yeah. It just spreads out, or cat shit.
Yeah, catch is a good one. Yeah.
Chunky.
Yeah.
So Claire then turns up.
Yeah. Fucking better late than never.
Yeah. Where were you 15 minutes ago? I mean, I don't know what she can do with grand scheme of things, but what she does do
What a big fucking net for the pigeons.
is she takes them all to Zeus.
Oh, Tony Todd?
Yes, Tony Todd, yeah. Because he appears in Final Destination 3 as well, does he?
I don't think he does.
No, I got confused between this and
I think it's
3.
2 and 4. It's either 2 and 4 or 2 and 5.
His voice is in the third one. He's
Yeah.
the voice of the
Yeah.
roller coaster.
He's appeared in another film we've watched quite recently, I'm sure he has.
Tony Todd is in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he was in the Night of the Living Dead remake, wasn't he?
Oh, he was, yeah.
That we did a while ago.
Oh, yeah, that's probably it. Yeah.
The Toddster.
The T-Mice thing.
T-Mice love Tony Todd, mate.
Yeah.
He'll be back as well when we do Candyman sequel. That'll happen one day.
Cool.
He was also in
Change my
the.
pick for next time.
He was also in the 8-on-2 Triple Cage match at Uncensored Night 96 to try and in a battle to try and defeat Hulkamania. They didn't win.
Sorry, what?
What?
He was, yeah.
Tony Todd?
Yeah.
Fuck up. Just leave.
No, it wasn't Tony
No,
Todd.
I will accept you talking about Ultimate Warrior in the Mirror, but this is just made up nonsense.
He was Zeus in No Odds Barred, wasn't he?
No.
No.
Oh my god, wrong person.
Yeah.
That is a bit racist.
So what happens next, Wilson?
No, that's Tiny Lister you're thinking of.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. With the eye. Who was in The Matrix? Was it Samuel L. Jackson? Fucking hell, Wilson.
Fuck's sake. I can't edit this out now, can I?
This is Defo's going through Audacity. Anyway.
Anyway, he says that you can't cheat death. The only way is to defeat it is to create new life in some way, but it's very cryptic and doesn't give like an instruction manual how to do it. So they've got to figure that one out all by themselves.
Yeah, and it's kind of loosely implied here and implied a little bit more in other installments of the series.
He collects nipple rings.
There's that. And Clear's dialogue at this when they go in saying that he probably already knows why you're here. It's kind of loosely implied that he's death or some representation of death.
Okay.
And that becomes a little bit like in the later films in the series, the second one that he's in, that becomes a little bit more of a thing that's developed.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
But he also says, just follow the signs.
Yeah. And, as if to take a cue from that advice, Kimberly has another vision of a van crashing into a lake while they're stood in the most depressing, dangerous, fucking lethal-looking trope of the CineMortuary podcast, a petrol station.
Oh, stop it.
Tick.
Put that fag down.
Yeah. It's just the kid walking through the middle of a petrol station smoking a fag, and then he is it Clear tells him to not be a dickhead, and he says fucking suck my dick or something weird like that. What?
Brilliant. They figure out that in order to have new life, they've got to make sure the pregnant lady who survived does not die in the meantime.
Absolutely.
Got to make sure she gives birth. But when they go to a meeting later on, I'm right in thinking she's not actually there.
No, that's right. Well, yeah, she kind of like shot off basically as soon as everything happened and didn't leave any other details.
Yeah. So they've got no way of contacting her to let her know, wait a minute, please don't die. We need a new life here.
Yeah.
And we get a bit of a setup for what's about to come. So we've got the weird bit with the coked up guy going in the lift.
Yep.
And I believe, is it the guy with the hook hands but without the hook hands yet that he talks to?
No, I think it's just another dude.
Is it just another dude, this one?
Just a random dude.
Oh, okay. And pointing out how the lift is moving weirdly and it's a bit fucked, Better not go down that lift again, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. And in sort of in these couple of sequences, they basically get all the survivors to meet up again.
They do,
in that building, yeah.
Yep. So round them up all in one room so Death can do its job very, very quickly.
Exactly, yeah. And the thing I love about this is, what's his name, the black guy? I wrote it down as well. Alex.
Turtleneck,
let's call him Turtleneck.
Yeah.
He fulfills the role of person that doesn't believe this shit, which I do like. You have to have that trope in there, don't you, Dave? Just like some knobhead who's like, no, fuck you guys, I don't believe you.
Always, you got to have the guy that is loud and proud of being a bellend. Yeah,
exactly. yeah.
I'm ignorant. I choose to be ignorant. That's fine. You do that.
It's my diplomatic right. So yeah, that's a thing that happens, isn't it?
Then we also have the canoe swinging down, just to have a quick go, just like Death going
Now do you believe me?
I can do it whenever I want.
I'm gonna get you.
They suggest teaming up to just sort of solve what's going on, but no one's really bothered. Turtleneck's just a massive cynic anyway. The lady whose child has just died has got a funeral to plan.
Yes, fair enough. Like
Yeah.
that.
And the coked up guy is a bit too busy having a bit of hijinks in the closet.
Which fucking creased me to bits.
The way it's the feng shui in this room.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
That was so relatable, that bit with him in the closet, though, when they're trying to, like, safe-proof it, and he opens the door and there's all that shit in there, and he's like, fucking fuck.
Yeah. Just like bowling balls like on the top shelf and like ice hockey skates just like swinging around and all that.
And when it all like starts falling out on him, it's just this scream. It's like the highest pitched shrill scream. It's like, oh god, yeah.
Whose fucking closet is this?
Yeah, some fucking nut bar.
Like Mr. Freeze's henchman or something.
Frosty. And we have a little cutaway to the pregnant woman getting pulled over by the cops as well. In and around this, do we? Is that right?
Very shortly, yes.
Yeah.
So that does happen.
Right.
And meanwhile, we also start getting the setup for the next death, which is the lady whose kids just died getting into the lift with a man who, for some reason, is holding a box full of hook hands.
Absolute cunt. There's no need for you to exist. It's such a savage universe.
Yeah. Oh, and turtleneck's in there as well, just to point out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's actually Stoner Druggy that has the vision for this one, doesn't he? Because he sees all the shadows from the shit in the closet.
Does, yeah. Did we actually explain how come he has a vision?
Well,
and
yeah,
not everyone else?
because it's someone has a line earlier, and it's in the scene before where Clea says that Elizabeth's been having these visions, but it doesn't mean that we can't all be aware of the signs as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
so he's
okay.
not having a vision, he's seeing the signs.
Yeah.
Oh, he's seen all the signs too.
Which, fair fucks to him, considering he's loaded off his mind, he's still had the wherewithal to notice.
Yeah.
None of the rest of them do at any point.
No.
So, yeah, he figures out what's about to happen, which we have the woman, like, step back a bit and get a haircut in one of the hooks. And she immediately just massively panics. And the guy with a box just, like, tugging on it, just like, look, if you just stop for a minute, you can figure out how to
Stop
do all this.
thrashing around.
I could tell you're really into fucking hooks, dude, but just put the fucking box down.
And she basically somehow this situation develops where like she ends up she goes to get out of the elevator, but the hooks is still attached and the door shuts on her head.
Yes, that's right, yeah. He like drags her back, so she's like suddenly like stuck halfway in between.
Yeah.
And all the others like run out to try and like save her, but the lift just keeps going up and down, just like constantly crushing her until it's just way too late.
And she gets decaffeinated. Oh, it makes me so happy, all of it.
It's wonderful. Wonderful.
And it's just like, and I know we said this about Final Destination 3 as well when we reviewed that, but it's so tight. It's just like, no, like apart from, you could argue, like you said before, with a little bit of the scene with Clea and Kimberly in the sanitarium. But other than that, there's fuck all wasted motion here.
No, I don't think so, no.
Yeah. Tight.
Then the turtleneck, he just decides, fuck it, I'm just going to kill myself. So he grabs the cop's gun, tries to shoot himself in the head, tries all 6 chambers and nothing happens, but the bullets are all there, counted for, which is not his time to die yet.
Yeah.
A lot of interesting things with that mechanic, couldn't you? I'm sure the sequels probably play into it. Like if it's not your turn to die, people just jump out of planes and shit and they're fine.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Although then again, as a character, would you risk that in case it was your turn? In case there's like some information you didn't know of that someone else has been saved, therefore it's your go now.
I mean, if I knew it were going to come eventually, I would absolutely get some knuckle dusters on and fight my way into the White House just with my fists. Just like, I mean, if you're going to go out anyway, just like man in polo neck charges into White House, takes down 300 Secret Service, shits on Donald Trump's face, and kills him by slamming his head in a drawer.
Oh dear. And then we whiz off to the police station next, don't we?
Yep.
Where a pregnant lady goes into labour, and I love this little dynamic between her and the useless cop. Another
like a
nice
useless
little
cop,
trope.
don't you? Yeah.
I love a useless cop. Where basically he's like, "Oh, I'll get a police car. I'll get one of the cars," and she's like, "No, you fucking do what I say, you fucking prick." And he's like, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry." Like to the point where she convinces him to leave a crime scene. Like,
Yeah, let's take this white van. Like, oh no.
really?
Aw. So, speaking of vehicles, we go to a car where all the other survivors are just driving along, and this is where it turns out they're all connected in some way to the original group from Final Destination 1.
yeah, because they're all cheated death as a result of the other people dying.
Yes.
Lovely.
So good.
Lovely.
And because this is how Kim's mum died, because she was part of a carjacking gone wrong, that she was apparently supposed to be in her place, but she was displaced because of all the shits going on elsewhere.
Yeah, she was watching a news report.
She
wasn't
was, yes,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
otherwise wouldn't have happened, therefore should have been outside in her car at the time.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Really nicely done.
Yeah, really nice.
Who was it who was in France and couldn't do something because matey boy got hit with a brick?
That was the druggie, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Because he was like, I got fucking loaded, and I missed the gig, and I was sat, and some guy got fucking taken out by a side.
Yeah.
Stunning.
There's a lot more thought into these films than what it appears on the surface.
Yeah.
It is
Yeah,
really
yeah.
fucking good.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Yeah.
just like the research and the details and the things, like the stuff from the crash at the start, like the fucking school bus bin from the school. You know, a lot of thought has to go into this shit.
So the whole point of this film is that it's tying up all the loose ends from the first film, technically.
Yeah.
Everything that happened from the flight, and basically at this point being alive to them is like contagious or something like that.
Yeah.
So wouldn't you know it? So they're driving in a car, the cop and the pregnant woman in the van, and they just have to beat each other in the road.
Yeah.
One of them distracted, so they both have to swerve.
Beautiful.
And this is... what have we got? So it's the other sort of featureless lady that's driving the main van,
I've just got her
the
down
main
as
car.
yuppie woman.
Yeah, she didn't. Really, she was the only one that didn't really have like a standout feature.
Yeah, she was on a
In all
treadmill
fairness.
with a cigarette. That's a standout feature.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
It's just going to pure gym, isn't it?
Oi!
She has to like go down a field past like barbed wire fence door that lot, and she collides with a log which impales her leg.
Yeah, it goes across them, doesn't it?
Like
just
across
forces
it, yeah,
her
yeah.
in place. Yeah.
That's right. And
Eugene is the name of the black guy. Sorry.
oh yes, there we go. Yeah,
Eugene. He gets hurt and dragged out the car, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Well, the car, very important, does a 180 and reverses into some very sharp-looking piping.
Yes.
Which completely impales the car and goes through the front windscreen.
Yes.
But it doesn't kill anyone. It just impales Eugene a little bit in the back.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
And
there's one through the back of Yuppie Girl's seat.
there is, correct. Yeah.
Might come in later.
Right, come in later.
And the van also comes to a stop. They're both okay. The policeman officer feels compelled to help the other vehicle that's just crashed, but the pregnant woman's just like, no, they're okay, call it in and let's move on. Slight dick move, if we're being honest.
You know, you don't argue with a pregnant Mexican woman, do you?
It's true. Yeah.
Probably not, no. So instead, it's up to a guy wearing a Limp Bizkit shirt.
I knew you'd pop for that.
Oh, of course. You know what? Immediately after I saw that shirt, I went on eBay to look for it. Couldn't find it.
No.
It's very hard to find Limp Bizkit shirts on eBay. If anyone's got the XL Limp Bizkit t-shirts want to donate to me, then please send them across.
Yeah.
So he tries to help the lady by like pulling up the log and all that lot, but it's not really happening. And what else have we got?
News van turns up
Oh yes, that's the one. Yeah,
out of nowhere.
they were on the scene very quickly. Don't know
They
who
were.
pulled that one in. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Probably a scriptwriter.
And again, like the van pulls up right underneath that crack pipe, and then they've got some like a leaking oil tank or something that goes in down the pipe.
Well, not before the very carelessly driven news van nearly kills Limp Bizkit t-shirt, and he's pulled out of the way.
Yes, thank
by
you.
Druggy Man.
Yes, yeah, that's right. So now,
Dave's in.
yeah, so now he's part of it all.
Yeah, well,
As we'll find out
yeah.
much later on.
Maybe not.
Maybe he will be. Spoilers.
Hitman kill.
Ooh.
Now, there's... We're getting lost in my notes here. So the next bit, is it onto the other death, which I think might be Rob's kill of the week?
There's two back-to-back deaths here, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there is, yeah.
There's
Both of them actually really exquisite. I think the other one just tops it, but these two in a row, beautifully done.
Yeah, I mean, you keep on trucking, Wilson.
Sure, so... There's the first one with the lady still sat there in a seat, like trapped by the log.
Yes.
And something is like an explosion or something, and it causes.
Well, he's the fire crew are trying to just basically hammer the car apart.
Yes,
and she's like, "Is there like a silent mode you can put that on?"
I'll just put it on silent for you, thank you.
Yeah,
and he just fucking thumps it in again, and sets off the airbag.
It sets off the airbag, which. It causes to fly backwards right into the pole right behind her.
Yeah.
Straight through.
Yeah. Which causes her limp hand to drop her fag end into the fuel, which has been leaking on the floor.
Yep.
Causing an explosion, leading to Rob's kill of the week.
Oh, yeah.
Which is
I can see this,
Druggy getting split in. If you give me a kill, my friends, in any film where something runs through someone and they fall apart... You have my attention and my money.
It's a dicey one, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyone getting basically, cut into sort of stewing meat chunks.
Yeah.
I'm there.
Well, I noticed that this your favourite kill does follow the early noughties cliche of slice them up, right? Yeah. And then have them fall apart 2 seconds later.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. But this one is dirty.
Yeah,
there's bits of there's like spurts, intestines flying. It's not a clean CGI one. It's just fucking horrible.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And he's like there's a little shot of his eyes realising that he's fucked it, and then he falls apart. Stunning, delicious. There's a few giblets here as well, isn't there? Which is always a bonus.
Giblets, really. Yeah.
Giblets. So the pregnant woman's taken to the hospital, and so it's a big chase to there to save her, because now Kimberly has a vision that there's this nurse. What's she got?
Kalangian,
that's how you pronounce it. I've sort of written it down here, and then I thought,
Dr. Kalangian.
Kalangian, that's it. Kalangian,
Dr. Kalangian.
The most pissed off woman on this ward.
Yep.
I can guarantee it's one fucking thing to another.
Scowl.
She's having to work overtime, isn't she? She's fucking boiling.
Every time she gets back to the staff room, picks up her brew and biscuit. Oh no, literally the hospital's on fire. Fuck's sake. Someone's literally driven themselves into the river. Alright, fucking hell.
Yeah, and of course Eugene's been transferred there, isn't he? Because he's in a world of trouble. He's in the old fucking iron lung or whatever it is that he's in.
Yep. And this vision is this Kalangian will kill the pregnant woman in some way. Although it looks a lot more sinister than what it transpires it will be.
Yeah, I think it's implied when they're cutting back and forth.
Yep.
Is that because she says, "Oh, Dr. Kalangian, whoever she is trying to suffocate me."
Yes.
But then it cuts back to the baby, and it's like, "Oh, the umbilical cord's wrapped around its neck; it can't breathe." And then they're trying to stop Dr. Kalangian going up to help deliver the baby because they think she's going to strangle the baby, and it's a vision from the baby, sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And they need the baby to cheat death. I think that's what they were trying to say.
I think so. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Cool.
So at the hospital, then we get the first outwardly obvious interference from death itself on Eugene.
It's a little bit on the nose, this one.
Yeah.
It's not very clever.
if I'm being honest, and I'm not sure if this continues further into the series, because I can't remember it happening in 3, 4, 5, but I don't like the idea of outwardly supernatural elements in assisting with the deaths, if you know what I mean.
I don't think it happens.
No, it doesn't.
I get feeling this is the last time it might.
Yeah. The 4 and 5, in my opinion, although they're still great fun, are slightly more forgettable than the first 3. But I don't think that happens again.
Yeah, to use a wrestling analogy, so So all the deaths before, it's been like this great like in-ring psychology where when someone does a move, they're doing it in response to and to achieve something against another person's move, and it's that sort of thing. So like one thing happens, so they're reacting in a certain way, which then causes a certain reaction the other way.
Yeah.
And in the end, a result comes out of it. This death coming in feels like someone coming in with a steel chair and just hitting the shit out of everyone.
Yeah.
For no real reason.
I was thinking that your perfect Final Destination death is a Canadian destroyer done off the top rope through a ladder onto a table.
Yeah.
Whereas Eugene's death is the forced pin on Jeff Hardy when he's too drunk to compete. You know what I mean?
That's strong,
You feel it, yeah.
Oh yeah, very, very strong, yeah.
Just Sting trying to fucking move that machine away. Like,
and the baby's born, and everything seems to be just fucking jiffy fantastique.
Yep. Because the cop and Kimberly managed to get in Kajian's way before it happens, and the birth happens naturally, and there's no issues whatsoever.
Yep.
And Kimberly utters the famous words of, "It's over." But it's never over when you say it's
checks
over.
VLC timeline. Oh, shit, 25 minutes to go. Nah, it's not.
That ain't over, is it? That ain't over. And she has another vision, doesn't she? Now, this, I remember from the first time I watched this film, which wasn't at the cinema, it was on DVD, I think, when it first came out. This got me real nice, this little twist. With the vision.
What about it was her all along driving?
That she didn't die in the original pileup, the pregnant woman.
Oh, yes.
yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
That is a very good twist as well, yeah. Because, so the idea was that it's like a vision of her just like stood up the side watching
Surveying the damage,
So she
yeah.
wasn't even there to begin with, yeah.
Stunning.
Yeah.
Because then they haven't now created new life, so the cycle is not broken. It's like that bit in Halloween where, like, she stabs Michael Myers with the knife and he's laid out, and he just sits back up, and the music kicks in. Yeah. That's that shit that's happening right here now.
Yeah, it ain't safe, bish.
Yeah, Death's fucking back. He's sat upright and he's fucking ready.
Kimberly realises then that it's her that was driving the van, and that in order to create new life, she's got to kill herself, essentially.
Yep.
And be brought back.
And be brought back to life, yeah. So, without warning, she hijacks an ambulance and drives into the lake that's right there.
Could I just rewind slightly because you've just missed 2 kills? Just before that happens, when they're all like, "Oh, everything's fine," Clea runs to see Eugene, and she's like, "Eugene, everyththing's fine," and she opens the door, and then it explodes, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I've skipped 2 lines ahead on my notes here.
Don't you worry. But yeah, so they Clea achieves blast off.
Yes.
And,
So, to be fair, like, when I say that the kill with Eugene was sort of hands-on, the fact that it actually sets it up for another kill later on sort of redeems it back a bit.
So, so Death was sort of using him as a setup to finally get Claire.
Yeah, he's using him as part of the puzzle sort of thing.
Yeah.
So you're actually watching what Death does off screen. Like, oh, I'm just going to put this fucking kayak on the roof, motherfuckers. This fucking skate boot on this light cord here, yeah. Like, yeah, you think it's going to be the end of Eugene and he just survives, but no, he's actually just moving shit into place, filling the room full of oxygen with the tanks, so that when it sparks the cord and the thing opens, it actually just woof.
Yeah.
There's a waft.
Yeah. I was quite sad about this kill for 2 reasons. One, because I quite like the Clea character, especially from Final Destination 1.
Plus, you think Ali actually really fit, right?
Correct, yeah. I did have a bit of a thing for Ali Lata, yeah. So, R.I.P.
What was the second reason?
That was it.
Right.
You just dive straight out of a second reason there,
sorry.
Dave. You helped. And that's the main thing.
Yes.
So, yeah, sorry, Willie. Back to what you were describing before.
No, so she drives the ambulance into the lake, and it looks like it's all curtains, but the cop then appears, dives in and saves her.
Do you know what this reminded me of when he goes like fucking super cop here? Meet
that?
the cop that can't be stopped. He's fucking underwater. He's fucking trying to break windows through. He fucking clearly succeeds in somehow smashing the window with his bare hands underwater and dragging her out because
He's got his gun.
Oh, has he got his gun?
Yeah.
Even still, shattering a window underwater when the pressure's equal on both sides is quite
It's not an easy feat.
quite a tricky thing to
that's
achieve.
fair. Yeah.
But yeah, he saves the day. And Then she wakes up after being resuscitated by the doctor, which is the other part of her vision.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, so it wasn't choking her to death. It was.
He was resuscitated.
Live! Yes! And that sort of tidies everything up nicely, doesn't it?
It does, so we have a nice, we'll all live in hooray barbecue.
Yeah, they decide randomly to go back to the farm
Yeah,
that they
stop
crashed
here.
at.
Why are they with this family again?
I've got no
idea.
idea.
Never explained.
I could not figure this one out whatsoever.
Someone tipped me off to say that they knew who they were beforehand, but
I don't think they did. No,
no, I couldn't recall it at all.
I think
I'm afraid I'm going to have to say it.
What? No, it's all right. We understand what you're going to say.
Yeah,
It's
it
like,
is,
no,
it
drop
is,
the
it
ball on
is.
it. John Colson's at home. He's
you're
listening
right.
with his cats, mate. All
You're
right,
right,
just
you're
chill
right.
out.
No,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
It is contrived, though, isn't it?
so. This is,
John Colson, sorry.
but with the family, and more importantly, Brian in his Limp Bizkit shirt, and he better go check if the meat's ready.
Well, that's it, yeah.
Doesn't his hand land on his mum's plate?
Yeah,
It's like he sits down to eat, and then someone says, "Oh, don't you think you should just fuck off over there next to the barbecue that's going to explode?" Oh, yeah, shouldn't I?
That's just the right distance away for nobody else to be injured by the blast.
And it's still on a wide. Like,
Yeah.
just a nice little moment of silence, no one's talking, and then his poor fucking mannequin next to the barbecue just fills the frame with fire and giblets.
You won't be able to get his fucking Limp Bizkit shirt second-hand, will you? That's gone.
Slight wear from use.
Oh, that was Final Destination 2 then. Shall we get some closing thoughts? Let's start with you, Dave.
That's not Dave.
I know. Threw you off.
No, so.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good time, I think. It's definitely got a bit of an identity crisis. And the gear shift is a little bit stuck between 1 and 3.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely fine once it settles into itself and it realises it's having fun. Probably second act, third act territory. It's a whale of a time. All the kills are nicely convoluted and just, yeah, good stuff.
Beautiful. Yep, and how about you, Rob? What are your closing thoughts on Final Destination 2?
It's a damn fine time, isn't it? It's a damn fine time. I think we'll keep the other two out of it for now because you haven't seen them.
Yep.
I think it's probably, of the 3 that we've all seen at this stage, I think it's probably in number 3 position. But that's not to say it's not very good, because it is. It's really, really good. I think you're right about the identity crisis thing a little bit, and I think it's really interesting to note that I think part of that is due to the fact that Final Destination 1 and Final Destination 3 are both directed by the same dude.
Right, yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
And this one's directed by, I think it's David R. Ellis, who's no longer with us, sadly. But he did also direct Snakes on a Plane.
Okay.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you can kind of see a little bit of that, that side of things. But yeah, it's a fucking damn good time, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're kind of splitting hairs, choosing, ranking them 3 films because they're all a fucking damn fine time.
And my thoughts, I think the series is progressing nicely, so I think 2's better than 1 and 3's better than 2.
Okay.
It's a very rare one. I can't really name any other films where it's a film series where it's progressively getting better
Frankenstein.
as we go along. I don't know.
Dracula.
Robocop.
Oh, fucking
For fuck's sake.
Terminator, they just keep getting better, man.
Technically, you're right, the first bit, and no. Anyway, yeah, just damn good fun. It's getting to where it needs to be, which is just this absolutely fucking stupid, high concept jackass horror film series.
Yeah.
No real complaints to me at all, really, to be fair. And just the scripting as well, just they've thought a lot about what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're not just thinking, she go fall down now, his head's falling off. They've really thought about every scene and how it all plays out, how it makes sense to the wider story. And I don't think these films, well, certainly the 3 I've seen, get enough credit for it.
No.
And because I can't see us going back to 4 and 5 that soon, because there's a lot more horror films to go to. I think I will be watching them before we revisit it. So
Yeah. I mean, my opinion on the Final Destination... I've been banging the drum for the Final Destination franchise for a very long time. And in my opinion, I'm going to say something very heavy now, even though the parts 4 and 5 aren't quite on the same level as the first 3, they're still a damn fine time.
Okay.
So I would like to, on this public forum, state the case for the Final Destination films to be consistently, in terms of quality, one of the best horror franchises ever made. Because if you think of consistency of output across 5 films, what other franchises could you say are consistently at that level?
I don't know, mate. I mean, I watched Puppet Master 8 the other day.
Oh yeah, fucking fair dinkum. Sorry, I take it all back.
The one with the Nazis.
I think it should be considered.
I think you're right. Yeah.
You know, in a lot higher esteem than it is. Really, I can't quite figure out why it isn't. But there we go.
Did 4 and 5? Did they make quite a bit of money? Did they do all right, or is it fizzled?
Fizzled slightly, but the problem with the Final Destination films, and I read an interview with Tony Todd the other day because I was doing a bit of research for this, and often asked questions why there hasn't been more of them. Like, they're all very successful, but the thing is, profit margin wise, not that massive, because although they made money, if you compare all the fucking set pieces in these films and the car crashes and the explosions and the CGI involved.
Your budget's in the first 10 minutes.
It's an action film budget for a horror genre.
Right, yeah.
If you think about it, horror films generally are cheap to make and make a profit, and that's why people make them. And so that's kind of, I think, what's hamstrung this slightly.
Okay.
Fair enough then. Right, shall we start dishing out turds and popcorns then?
Yep.
You first, Dave. Turds.
I am going first.
Okay, then, Rob, turds.
I think that was going to work.
Can't believe you just got bitched out there. Okay.
Okay, Chris, turds. So
No, I'll go.
Okay,
I was
Dave.
just fucking with you to see if you'd actually do it. Turds. Maybe I shouldn't have gone first. It's either a 3 or 4. I think a 3.
Okay, then.
Yeah. It's teetering between the two because it's deliberately corny and a bit shit in places when it needs to just move forward.
Yep.
But like it knows what the crack is. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about that. We're moving on now. People need to get killed here. Cool, fine.
Yeah, fair play.
Popcorn's 8.
Yeah, good choice. How about you, Rob?
Turds I have gone for here, and I'm going to keep it exactly as written so that no one can accuse me of copying Dave. My turds, as Chris Wilson can see written in front of me, is 4.
I can verify that. It's a 4.
It's a 4. I think one of the things we didn't really touch on as we were going through, because it was kind of non-existent. There's not much of a score or soundtrack as such that really sticks with you. It is a little bit disposable, and it's kind of like some of the dialogue's not fucking the world's best, but I can't go any higher than a 4 because it's not. There's a lot of good stuff from the technical perspective as well.
And popcorns.
And popcorns, I will agree with the number I've got written down here, which is agreeing with Dave.
Oh, okay.
Chris Wilson will verify.
I can verify that again.
That is an 8 on the
Say
page.
you agree with me.
Look, I promise I'm not copying.
All right.
I'm not copying.
I know. You are special. You are special.
I love you, Dave. I just want to be like you. Yeah, for all of the reasons. I mean, it's just a fucking good time, isn't it? You know what I mean? As I said earlier, I watched it like a month and a half ago, and I watched it again for this, and I enjoyed it just as much.
Okay, then.
So, popcorn time. Chris Wilson, your turn.
Right, I've got my notebook open as well, but the turds are actually a 2. I've gone for.
We've had a lovely time.
Prudish way.
Yeah. I know there are elements of there where you can say, well, it's a bit turdy, there's like contrivances within the kills, but as I said earlier on, it's more about how if one thing happens after another because it's like a response to what's come before that, and it's like they're sort of like juggling all these balls. And I just think the script is way more thought out than what it appears on the surface, and I just think it's really good because of it. So only a 2 for that.
Okay.
And popcorn is also an 8.
Yes.
Yes.
fair.
Rob can verify
Yeah,
that.
verified, yes.
Yes.
Oh my god, fucking hell.
3 8s. Yeah.
Well, I think
It's
that's
just cracking.
that's what it is, an 8, isn't it? That's just what it is.
Yes.
Yeah, it's an 8 sort of film.
Yeah.
Don't know where I was going with that one.
You could say we didn't 8 it.
Hey.
Really pleased for that one, sorry.
Anyway, next up in the throne, it's Rob. And what have you got for us?
Yeah, what you thrown up on us, mate.
Oh, yeah. Well, in the Portaloo of Power, in the next episode of
Tip it over,
CineMortuary,
Willie. Go on, Rob.
is I've gone a little bit more supernatural in terms of genre for this selection. I've also picked a film that I have not seen before.
Ooh.
It will be my first ever viewing of a film with a real backstory, Poltergeist 2, The Other Side.
The Other Side.
From 1986.
1986, very good. Year before I was born, that.
Yeah. And your little Rasta Jamaican accent you did there reminded me that one day I'm really going to troll the shit out of you and pick I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, because it'll make you have to watch Jack Black pretend to be a Rasta. You must note that for future.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dear.
I'll save that for when you've been having a good time for too long.
And on that absolute downer, it's thank you for tuning in, and see you next time. So I've been Chris. Goodbye. Yes, I'm going first. It's a goodbye from Rob.
Goodbye, Chris.
And it's a goodbye from Dave. Let's see what he's got. He must have known it was cool enough after the tricky pub last time.
You would have thought so, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I mean, you could do all sorts, like, I don't know, get your shoes and, like, clap them together on the microphone for no reason.
Why are you holding your shoes?
Why have you got your shoes off?
We're in Japan.
Yes.
Previously on the We Made This Network. Mild threat and peril.
Girl Next Door falls into that category as well. And again, I watched it today, I went, can't be as bad as I remember. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Shouldn't have watched that. It was fucking horrendous. Everyone our age, if they don't like horror, everyone our age has seen, you know, Halloween H2O at the very least. Because it was around when we were teenagers.
I think, to be honest, Halloween H2O was the first one I saw.
I think it probably was for me as well, actually.
Yeah, and I think it was because I fancied Josh Hartnett as well, because I'd seen him in The Faculty.
I mean, that's not why I watched it.
Life's milestones.
Have you decided, or do you have a strong prediction on what would be the song that you have for your first dance?
Oh, that's so good. Again, I think it'd be a song that's like, you know, for both of us is a big song. This is for like an epic first dance, and again, this is like big budget, but you know, Greatest Showman, Rewrite the Stars.
Right, okay.
You know, like they have the whole routine with the ribbon and all that stuff, like the trapeze and all that.
Yeah.
If we were both that dedicated, I'm dedicated enough to do this, and if the other person was interested that much in Greatest Showman, which I feel like a lot of people are,
It's a good film.
to do the whole trapeze thing for Zac Efron and Zendaya.
As your first dance?
Yeah.
That's
How epic would
amazing.
that be? Because everyone's like, you know, oh, let's just put on an Ed Sheeran song, and everyone's like, oh, that's kind of cute. But imagine it's like, why don't we and like the two of us are just there, and everyone's like,
That would be amazing.
You won't forget me.
What do you actually think of that scene where they first meet, Sam? Like by the fireside. What is your take on it?
That is actually my favorite scene.
Okay.
I love that scene so much. It explains both of the characters. I love it. Kind of serves as a double. It's not only a great amount of exposition, we get to learn about both Joan and Larry and their hopes and dreams, but we also see them fall in love. This is basically the only opportunity that we get to see their romantic relationship in the first place before we see it put to the test in the later parts of the film.
Check out all of these shows and more on the We Made This podcast network.